Coming up on UCF Nightly News. A shooting at Florida State University earlier this week raises concerns on campus safety. Find out what happened and how students reacted.
President Obama is reviewing our nation's hostage protocols after ISIL took the life of another U.S. citizen. Find out what White House officials had to say.
And an American doctor died from Ebola earlier this week. Find out how international pop artists are helping fight the deadly disease.
You're watching Nightly News covering the UCF community and the greater Orlando area.
Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to the last show of the semester. I'm Al Hernandez.
And I'm Brittany Jackson. Today is Friday, November 21st. Shocking news out of Tallahassee. A shooting at Florida State University early yesterday morning left 3 students wounded and the gunman dead. Police say former student Myron May walked into the FSU campus library around 12:30 Thursday morning and opened fire. Law enforcement officials say they shot and killed May outside the library after he wounded 3 students. Right now, 2 of the students are currently hospitalized and paramedics treated 1 at the scene. FSU officials canceled classes on Thursday, and this video shows the student body coming together yesterday to pray for those injured in the attack. Tallahassee officials say they are investigating the scene and do not believe that this is related to a larger plan.
Officers are working at this time to secure the scene as they have done. And they have also checked all of FSU, and we have no other initial indications to show there is a threat at this time.
And while everything is under control now at Florida State University, this tragedy brings up the question of campus safety around the country. Nightly News reporter Melissa Lujan joins us to tell us how the UCF community is reacting.
Yes, guys, and even though it occurred in Tallahassee, UCF police thought it was important to address our own campus safety. Tallahassee police are looking over a journal and videos that indicate the 31-year-old former FSU student was mentally ill and felt targeted by unknown forces. I spoke with students on campus that say this hits a little too close to home.
That's everyone's first reaction, is shock, disbelief.
But I think everyone was a little shook up.
It's like in college, you never know what could happen. It could have turned out much worse than it was.
The response at UCF, all quite similar.
You think our college campuses should be safe. I mean, we go here to study, and especially a library is a quiet place, and something like that shouldn't happen at a library or anywhere.
The FSU tragedies reminding the UCF community of the 2013 gun scare, where former student James Sivakumaran planned a mass shooting in the Tower 1 dorm rooms.
It just reminded me about how, I believe it was last year, about with the whole UCF thing, how I had friends in Tower 2, just this one guy just decided that, you know, he couldn't take it anymore, so he feels he got to take out everyone else.
UCF police say there is help if students are worried or feel unsafe.
And we also understand that the aftermath, that you have to have counseling available for people and you have to have a way that they can express themselves.
UCF police assure they are doing everything in their hands to prevent these things from happening.
We've taken some proactive steps just to make sure that our students feel safe and we have a very visible presence, which we do every day.
But police officials say students also play a role.
If you see something, say something. If somebody doesn't look right, if you get that intuition that something's not right, let law enforcement decide.
UCF law enforcement officials say they will stay in contact with FSU's police department and plan to keep an eye on the development of any related situations.
Thanks, Melissa. President Obama announced last night he will use his executive authority to protect millions of illegal immigrants here in the U.S. He also told lawmakers if they oppose his plan to pass a bill. But for now, the president's actions will protect parents of legal children from deportation and also bring protection for adults brought here illegally as kids. White House officials are framing this in terms of security, accountability, and efficiency. For accountability, applicants must pass a criminal background check, pay a fee and taxes on all future wages. For security, the administration will continue to intensify border patrol and deport anyone with ties to terrorism or criminal activity. Efficiency is about streamlining the visa process and offering longer stays to high-skilled foreign workers and students.
Mass amnesty would be unfair. Mass deportation would be both impossible and contrary to our character. What I'm describing is accountability, a common-sense middle ground approach.
Changes are only temporary, lasting as long as the rest of President Obama's term. This could all change before then if Congress passes an immigration bill that the president signs into law. The U.S. continues to launch airstrikes in both Iraq and Syria, but earlier this week, ISIL terrorists retaliated by killing another U.S. citizen. Intelligence officials say the terrorist group captured Peter Kassig last year while he delivered emergency supplies in Syria. Kassig was 26 years old, an aid worker, and a former Army Ranger. He is the third American killed in an ISIL execution video since August. U.S. military officials say they are using facial recognition software to scan every face in the video until all identities are known. And Secretary of State John Kerry says ISIL militants are wrong for assuming this will stop U.S. tactics.
ISIL's leaders assumed that the world would be too intimidated to oppose them. Well, let us be clear. We are not intimidated. You are not intimidated. Our friends and partners are not intimidated. ISIL is very, very wrong.
In this most recent American death, policy for handling hostage situations overseas.
Another victim of the deadly Ebola virus passed away in Nebraska on Monday. Dr. Martin Celia contracted the disease while treating Ebola patients in Sierra Leone, as shown in this video. Medical officials flew Celia back to the U.S. and rushed him to the hospital in critical condition on Saturday. After trying to treat him with a blood transfusion, Celia died 2 days later. This is the second death in the United States. But the fight to end Ebola still continues, and some of the most popular artists from across the pond are doing their part. It's been 30 years since producer Sir Bob Geldof released the original Band-Aid song to help fight hunger in Ethiopia. But this week, countless artists from the UK came together to record a song for charity. Artists like Bono, One Direction, and Sam Smith all lent their time to make the song. The tune, Do They Know It's Christmas, is available for download worldwide on iTunes. And all of the proceeds will help stop the deadly virus spread. Official chart representatives say it's already the fastest selling single of the year, with more than 250,000 copies sold.
It's always heartwarming to see so many influential characters care so much.
I know, it's really good to see them all giving back.
It really is.
Now, Chris joins us at the desk to tell us about the weather and a first forecast.
Yeah, Chris, it's finally warming up out there. Tell us what's going on.
That's right. Here on campus, we are finally back in the 70s. Currently, it's 72 degrees with the humidity comfortable at 62%. High pressure is bringing winds in from the northeast at 14 miles per hour. Zero chance of rain. It's really a beautiful fall day out there. And we'll have more on the forecast and your 7-day outlook a little bit later in the broadcast.
Thank you, Chris. Still a bit later ahead on Nightly News, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. We'll share some tips on how to prepare holiday meals for your guests.
Yeah, and the new and improved Citrus Bowl opened this week. Found out what this means for Florida and the Orlando community next.
Thanksgiving is almost here, and that means Thanksgiving food.
Yeah, that's right, but your holiday turkey could also be a carrier of salmonella, making it important to cook the meal safely.
We spoke with the UCF Rosen College of Hospitality professor who shared some tips on how to prepare holiday food for your guests. First, wash your hands frequently, especially when preparing different foods. Don't wash off the turkey before preparing it because this spreads bacteria. Next, defrost the turkey in the fridge for about 4 days beforehand. Use an instant read thermometer to be sure the turkey reaches 175 to 180 degrees inside. And finally, don't let it sit out for too long before serving.
So when things are sitting out on a room temperature table, let's say 75 degrees in Florida, they're going to have rapid bacteria growth. So you don't want anything to sit out at room temperature for more than 4 hours.
Disease control officials say salmonella is estimated to cause 1 million illnesses in the United States per year. For more safety tips on how to prepare your holiday meal, visit nightlynews.ucf.edu.
Thanksgiving is one of the busiest travel times of the year, and UCF police officials are joining law enforcement across the country in the click it or ticket wave. Starting this week through November 30th, police will enforce seatbelt uses around campus. Officials say violators will be fined $114. Wearing a seatbelt reduces the risk of fatal injury by 45%.
Exciting news for the city of Orlando. The Citrus Bowl is now open to the public.
Yeah, that's right, Al. The newly renovated Citrus Bowl is a sight to see. I was front and center at the ribbon cutting this week, and I got a chance to talk to some people about what the new and improved stadium means to the community. The big debut of the new and improved Citrus Bowl was this week, and city officials couldn't wait to show it off. From new state-of-the-art stadium seating to the highly technical audio system, Mayor Teresa Jacobs says this stadium will be the heart of the city.
What a great achievement for our entire community, and what an impact this stadium will have on our economy, our reputation, and our fun.
The $207 million renovation was worth it, says ESPN personality and Orlando resident Lee Corso.
I've lived there 27 years and seen a lot of talk, but no action. And you did it. I'm telling you, I can't believe this. This is the same place that I played high school football in.
After 10 years in the working, the Citrus Bowl is finally user-friendly. But there is still a lot of work to be done. 2 concession areas and a lounge area in the upper level are just 2 of the tasks still left on the to-do list. But that didn't hinder the city officials' high hopes. The stadium's big public debut will be this weekend. The Florida Blue Florida Classic between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman University will kick off tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and it's expected to host nearly 45,000 fans. Orlando resident Leon Smith says he is just really excited for the city and what this will bring to his neighborhood.
When they first broke ground on here at the Citrus Bowl, it was a great thing to come to the community, and since that time we have been supporting this bowl, and it was years to come all of this came about, and we're excited about it in the community.
The stadium holds 65,000 people and is the last of 3 new community venues in the Orlando area.
This is your house, Central Florida. Get into it.
Will the Citrus Bowl be home for bowl games for the next 70 years? The Florida Citrus Sports Chief Executive Officer Steve Hogan also announced the Citrus Bowl will host a neutral site game between Florida State and Ole Miss in 2016. The weather has been cold this week. When we come back, Chris tells us when the warm weather will return and what we can expect for Thanksgiving.
And a little later in sports, we'll tell you how the basketball team fared against Eckerd College.
UCF held events all week to celebrate international education.
That's right. The festivities started Monday and wrap up tonight. This is the 6th annual International Education Week at UCF. More than 20 university departments came together to recognize international education and exchange worldwide. The U.S. Department of State Education funded more than 20 events on campus, and students could attend them all for free.
A recent LearnVest financial study shows that almost half of all college students will delay buying a home and having children because of student loan debt. Pew researchers say the average loan debt is more than $26,000. To reduce this, financial experts encourage students to apply for scholarships, take out loans fitting for their budget, and avoid private loans with higher interest.
Now let's take a look at our weather. Chris has our forecast.
And Al, it's looking great outside today, much better than on Tuesday when it was freezing everywhere. And in Tallahassee right now, we're at 67 degrees, Jacksonville 66, down south in Miami, we're actually at 74 degrees, and Central Florida is at 72. Let's take a look around the nation at what everyone else is dealing with. And throughout the country, we're seeing high pressure throughout the middle part of the country. This cold front is actually going to bring us the next couple of days. We're going to see a little bit of wet weather from this as it pushes through. It should be a slow moving storm, but by the time it moves through, we're going to have some cold weather again in behind it. And if you think what we've had recently is cold, let's see what's going on around the country. In the north, they're still freezing in almost all parts above the Midwest, and especially up in Minnesota, we're seeing 10 degrees and lower right now. And up in Buffalo, they're actually dealing with some very bad snowfall right now. Take a look at this. We're actually seeing that Buffalo has had almost 6 feet of snow this time of year. This is a ton of snow. It's a real whiteout right now. And now let's take a look at the 7-day outlook locally. We're seeing that on Saturday, we're actually going to be warming back up into the 80s. This could be the last time we're actually in the 80s for this year. We'll get up to 85 on Monday as rain moves in with that cold front, a low of 67. Tuesday, that front pushes through and we finally get a little bit of cool temperatures, a low of 54. And on Wednesday, we're actually seeing 66 degrees, a low of only 48. That's when that front pushes through. And on Turkey Day, we're going to have a great day. It's going to be a high of 65, a sunny day, beautiful weather. And the following morning for Black Friday, you're going to need to bundle up. It'll be a little chilly out there in the middle to lower 50s. And now we'll take it back to the desk with Al and Brittany.
Looks like it's going to be heating up just in time for the football game tomorrow after we had some chilly weather recently.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to get out there and tailgate early in the morning.
I better see you guys out there. The Knights play SMU tomorrow, and I'll have all the details for you after the break. Sports is up next. Welcome back, Knights fans. I'm Paige Sterner, and this is your UCF Sports Update. The football team bounced back from a tough loss against UConn. UCF honored our military in the 50th game at Bright House Network Stadium. The Knights took the lead early on with a 27-yard field goal from Rodrigo Cuarte. Fast forward to the second quarter, receiver J.J. Wharton completed a 5-yard pass from Justin Holman for a touchdown, and former QB Blake Bortles was there on the sideline to congratulate him. In the third quarter, the Knights pulled away from the Golden Hurricanes, scoring 2 more touchdowns, one from Brashad Perryman and the other a 1-yard run from Dontravius Wilson. Holman would finish the night with a career-high 3 touchdowns and 291 yards. UCF would cruise to a 31-7 victory over Tulsa, improving to 6-3. The women's soccer team is having one of its best successful seasons ever, but the players and coaches don't want it to end quite yet. Nightly News reporter Al Hernandez caught up with the team after their last game.
We won this game with heart, and I'm so happy because this is not my last game.
Following a 17-4 season, the women's soccer team advanced past the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Knights defeated Georgia 2-1 in front of their home crowd at UCF, remaining undefeated at home this season. But with 5 rounds still left, Coach Tiffany Roberts-Sadehak knows they have a long way to go.
Of course, I'm proud, but I have high goals, so I don't want to forget about each step. So I'm proud of it, but we're not done yet.
The women face Wisconsin next, and some players realize they're playing for more than just this season. Senior Kayla Darden understands any game could be the final of her career.
Being here, knowing that this could be my last moment on the field, it really pulls out crazy emotion inside of you. So I gave everything I could.
Wisconsin defeated DePaul 2-0 in the first round. In Orlando, Al Hernandez, UCF Nightly News.
UCF and Wisconsin square off at 2:30 today at the Seminole Soccer Complex in Tallahassee. The UCF basketball team played their second game of the season last night. Freshman guard Adonis Henriquez led the Knights last night against Eckerd College. Henriquez went 5 for 7 from behind the arc and finished with 21 points. Despite being down by 2 at the half, the Knights came back and outscored the Tritons 41-22 in the second half. Senior Casey Wilson also helped the Knights on their way to their 76-59 victory over Eckerd. The forward finished the game with 11 points and 5 rebounds. Their next game is at home on Sunday against the USC Upstate Spartans at 6 p.m. The Knights play their final home game of the season tomorrow. You can catch the game on ESPN News at 12 p.m. That's it for sports. Back to Brittany and Al at the desk.
That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us for the last show of fall 2014. Be sure to check us out online at nightlynews.ucf.edu.
On behalf of all of us here at Nightly News, thank you for joining us this semester. It's been a pleasure being your #1 source for news happening in the UCF community and greater Orlando area.
Join us here again next semester. Until then, good luck on finals and happy Thanksgiving.
To be a UCF Knight, I'm so thankful.
I'm thankful for family.
I am thankful for friends and family and food on the table and a roof over my head.
I'm really thankful for Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS.
With the food, specifically chocolate and peanut butter.
My family and my friends and just good health.
I'm also thankful for Disney World.
I'm thankful for food, because, food. I'm thankful for my family and my best friend.
I am thankful for dolphins, because they go, ee!
I'm thankful for my family.
I'm thankful for the beach. Why? Because the beach is my happy place, and without my happy place, I wouldn't be happy.
I am thankful for my job. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my family, my husband.
I'm thankful for honey roasted ham.
I'd have to say that I'm actually thankful for all the opportunities that have been given to actually participate in extracurricular activities as well as job opportunities.